Hello friends, welcome to the video of remote sensing. First image is that of your mobile screen, which all of us have. Second image is a mobile screen which is showing a weather forecast. Third image is your Google map. This photo is of cyclone Fani which hit the Orissa in last year. This image shows the growth progression report of wheat crop using time series satellite data by ISRO. What all these pictures suggest to you? One thing is common in all these pictures. All this information you are getting on your mobile screen, but you are not present at that site or you are not being physical contact with the objects or event. So this technique of getting information from remote objects or event without being in physical contact with the objects or event is called as remote sensing. So let us discuss in detail what is remote sensing. Remote means far and sensing means to sense, to collect or to gather information from objects or events. So remote sensing is a technique of getting information from objects or event without being in physical contact with that objects or events. Now, how this information is obtained? So this information is obtained through the analysis of data which is measured by special instruments which are known as sensors without being in direct contact with the objects or the event. Simplest example of remote sensing is taking pictures with the help of camera or watching something with our eyes. So when you are taking picture with the help of camera, the camera is not in physical contact with the object or event, but still you are getting information in the forms of pictures, photos. While observing something with our eyes, our eye or our body is not in direct contact with the object, but still our eyes or we get the information which is processed by our brain. So, but in darkness, we can't see anything, we can't get information. Similarly, if there is no light, you can't take picture with the help of camera unless you have an infrared camera. So what does this indicate? In both the cases, taking picture with the help of camera or watching something with your eyes, you require some medium which carries the information from object to the camera or eye. So in watching something with eye or with taking pictures with the help of camera, the medium or carrier is light, which carries the information from the object to you. Similarly, in case of remote sensing, the medium or carrier is electromagnetic waves. So in remote sensing technique, the electromagnetic radiation which are emitted, reflected, scattered from the surface of the earth are collected by sensors. They are detected, they are measured, and through their analysis we get information on our devices. Okay. So let us discuss in detail about this electromagnetic radiation. So what is this electromagnetic radiation? So simplest example of electromagnetic radiation is the sunlight which comes from sun to earth. All objects on the earth, unless they are having temperature below absolute zero, absorb, emit and reflect energy in a unique way at all the times. This energy is electromagnetic radiation which is emitted in the forms of waves which carries energy from one place to another. For example, your mobile, TV, computer, every object on the earth, sun, all stars and planets in the universe are emitting electromagnetic radiation. This electromagnetic radiation are produced due to vibration of billions of electrons, atoms and molecules. So, electromagnetic radiation is produced by the vibration of charged particle and it travels through the atmosphere and also through vacuum in the form of waves. And these are called as electromagnetic radiation because they consist of electric and magnetic field which is propagating perpendicular to each other and which is also propagating perpendicular to the direction of propagation of this electromagnetic waves. Now this electromagnetic radiation spans enormous range of wavelengths and frequencies. So this range is known as electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum is divided into 7 regions in the order of increasing wavelength or decreasing frequency and energy. First, on the extreme left hand side, you can see gamma rays. So gamma ray is the shortest wavelength and it is having highest frequency and energy. These rays are emitted by the nucleus during nuclear transition. Next to gamma rays, there are X-rays. So X-rays are having wavelength greater than gamma rays. X-rays can be of the order of size of an atom and they are emitted by the atom due to transition of electrons in the atom. X-rays are emitted by X-ray machine, as you can see. Then next to X-rays is the UV region, which is having greater wavelength than X-ray. These ultraviolet radiations can be of the sizes of molecules, protein, viruses. They are emitted by UV sources, sun. There are various sources of UV radiation. Why these are called as UV radiations? Because their wavelength is less than violet region of the electromagnet of the visible spectrum. So small than violet, that's why ultraviolet. Next to ultraviolet is our visible region. So this is the only portion of the electromagnetic spectrum which our eyes can detect, and it is very small. Now as you all know, this portion consists of a big pure sequence. So it is having a violet wavelength which is having the less wavelength, and red at the other end having greatest wavelength. So next to visible radiation is infrared region. So why it is called as infrared region? Because its wavelength is greater than red wavelength or red end of the visible light. So it is called as far from red, that is infrared. Now infrared radiation can be of the size of a tip of needle or a point. These radiations are emitted by humans and many objects which are having temperature. We can't see heat, but we can feel it. In the night, we can see someone, it is possible to see something by using night vision goggles. So that is all possible due to this infrared radiation. Next to infrared radiation is microwave region. So this region is having wavelength which is greater than infrared radiation. Microwave radiation can be of the order of the size of an honeybee. Microwave radiations are emitted by microwave radars. The microwave oven which you use in your home makes use of these microwaves. And at the extreme right hand side we have radio waves. So radio waves have longest wavelength and shortest frequency or less energy. They are emitted by your TV stations, radio stations, power lines. Radio waves can be of the size of from humans to buildings. So this was all about electromagnetic radiation. Now let's have a look at the history of remote sensing. So the technique of remote sensing has started more than 150 years ago with the invention of camera. Then in 1840, the idea and practice of looking down at Earth's surface began when people have taken pictures of the Earth's surface for topographical study by attaching cameras to the tethered balloon. Then during First World War, for military purposes, camera mounted on aeroplanes were used, which provided a large aerial view and a military reconnaissance. Then in 1950, Evelyn Preet of the US first used the term remote sensing. And in 1960, during the early ages of the space age, when both America and Russia were using their spacecraft, sensors or remote sensing was done by using spacecraft. Sensors were mounted on spacecraft and for the topographical mapping or for the study of surfaces. Then in 1972, NASA launched the first remote sensing satellite, Landsat, for the observation of Earth. And in 1888, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, launched IRS-1A, the first remote sensing satellite of India. So friends, in this video we have learnt about what is remote sensing, what is electromagnetic radiation and history of remote sensing. In the next video we are going to study about components of remote sensing, spectral signatures and process of remote sensing. How actually remote sensing takes place. So stay tuned for new videos and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.